Hello and Happy New Year! I hope you had a wonderful time. Um, in today's video, I was supposed to take apart this damage and figure out what's underneath all of that. But I don't want to do it outside since, well, it's cold, wet, and it's started to snow right now. So I wanted to do it in the garage, but unfortunately I had some mishaps with one of my other projects. So instead, I'm going to be going over all the projects that I have and the plan that I have for 2024, since this is the new year, and I have a lot of stuff that I need to do in this year, especially before the summer. Why before the summer? Well, you will find out like later down the road. So let me go over all the cars that I have and what's wrong with them and why they still have them. On the list is this Golf station wagon. If you haven't seen in the previous video, I purchased this car from AAI for really cheap. My winning bid was $1,475. It came from Texas, so no rust and very low mileage, 67,000 miles. I'm really impressed with this deal and I cannot wait to get into the damaged area to see what's up. Next, we have my Audi. Don't mind that piece of crap. I hate that car. It's not mine. The Audi is fine, although there is some problem. The biggest problem that I have with the car is that it has an exhaust leak, and the exhaust leak is from the flex pipe. I already bought a used catalytic converter. It also had a problem with the flex pipe. I went to the shop to weld a new piece. They did. I went to a different shop to install it. All went fine. But there is still a whining noise because the welds are not all the way through. That means that I still have exhaust leak. Another problem lays with the suspension. So I do tow a lot with this car, and if you can see, the inside of the tire on both sides are wearing off, and this side actually looks better. I guess because I use this big trailer and I always tow cars with it, and I don't just tow it like around town. I tow it for several hundred miles in one way. So just a lot of weight goes in the back, and because naturally the tires want to tilt inside, I have this problem. So for the future, for this year maybe, I hope to get bigger springs that will lift this car up a little, and hopefully that will help with towing progress. I'm not sure though. So the car currently has 131,000 miles. It works, it drives. Sometimes I have the check engine light on, primarily because of the EGR. The EGR has some problems. It's clogged. Sometimes it's unclogged, especially after towing for a long time. The check engine goes away. So that's pretty much it with the car. Everything else is in good shape. This is my relative's car. I did brakes on it. I hate that thing. Someone placed rear calipers in a way that to get access to a bolt in the rear especially, you need to remove a controller on both sides. Crazy, stupid idea. I don't like that car. I don't want to ever work on it ever again, and I would suggest you do the same. And here we have my 2012 Honda Civic without any special types and anything. It does have a special thing. It has a salvage title. I traded this car for the Nissan Pathfinder that I used to own, and it has 157,000 miles. I did some fixing. I removed the bumper because it was holding on by the self-tapping screws, and you can still see the marks. I'm not replacing any of that because the car has seen some life, and fixing the bumper is not going to bring the value up to it. Primarily, I traded in because I couldn't sell the freaking Nissan. and it's a manual. So I figured if I'm not going to be using it for driving purposes, I can probably modify it and use it for autocross. It's not the K engine, it's not 2.4, it's 1.8 liter, but it is manual, so that's a big plus. So let's go and start this thing up too. The battery still holds, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's very simple, nothing really special about it. Probably the base one, but it has a sunroof, which I would prefer if it didn't. The back seats are fine. No mats for some reason. So. Well, it's been a while since I started this car. And does it say the mileage anywhere? Not until I close the door. And 157,745, but it has zero issues. The car starts and drives pretty fine. So the plan for this car is for this car I'm going to pass the salvage inspection, get a rebuild title instead of just getting another salvage title, because it will be harder to sell, and I will try to sell it. It's not going to be much. If you are interested, shoot me a message. The car in the cosmetic condition is not the best, has dents, scratches, but mechanically it's perfect. It drives fine. No, I have zero issues with it. So it just takes up the space and I need to get rid of it. Next up is my 911, the Porsche 911. It's under covers for the winter. I put it on a charger. It's not gonna move until all the snow is gonna melt. So I uncovered it for you just a little bit because I want to mess with it. It's freezing outside. So in last year I got a hardtop for it. It's a silver hardtop, but it was 150 bucks, so totally worth it. The soft top is messed up. The mechanism needs to be fixed for the soft top. The struts are leaking really badly. I had a hard time putting the soft top back down. And it still has the problem with the engine when the engine takes. I'm not gonna start it right now. I don't want to. Plus I don't have a key with me. But I already have a ton of parts for this car because I want to kind of rebuild the engine. I don't think I'm gonna be doing it in this year. I already have a bunch of stuff. Like here's the spoiler, the shroud for the spoiler. Other components that I'm gonna need to install, and there's like a full trunk of stuff. Let me show it to you. Ta-da! And I think my shocks are going up. Yep, the shocks are done. They were working. I think they still work right now. Anyway, here is the tool to lock the engine in place when reinstalling the time gears have to be locked. Transmission oil, other stuff, fuel system cleaners, filters, and the most important part, which I do not even see it at this time. I bought the new, what is that called, the valve tappers, they say, or hydraulic lifters. So I have those for the whole engine, all 24 of them. Luckily I was able to find a good deal, because usually they are expensive as heck, and if you need to get all 24 of those, it would have cost me over $1,000 in parts, and instead I paid only $400. So not a bad deal. The problem is that I still need to install it, and that's a pain in the butt to do. This is my 911, and let's go inside the garage. So here, welcome to my garage. I have two cars, the Honda Insight and a Golf R. If you're new to this channel, the Golf R is a parts car for me, because there is one more Golf that you didn't see. I actually left it in New York because I drove that piece of crap Hyundai that you saw outside. I had to do the brakes here. I'm going to be swapping everything out of this car into a Golf that's actually outside. My original plan was to do it in the other one, the other Golf that has 200,000 miles on it, but it drives perfectly, and Well, there's nothing that needs to be done with that car. If the engine will go, I have the parts car outside with 67,000 miles on it. I'll swap everything out, and it'll be a perfect car. And I also didn't pay much for that. And this one, everything from here, the interior, the engine, the suspension, the wheels, everything's gonna go into the one outside. They both have damage in the front. That one probably has a little more damage in the front than this one. But there is no airbags is deployed, so all of the airbags, everything else is going to be swapped out, and that car is going to be the Golf R station wagon, which we never got. So that's the plan for that one. Soon I need to reduce suspension, because right now this tire is not connected to anything. Well, it's connected to the knuckle, but there is no steering component because it's bent. And the new parts arrived, but I don't have time to do it right now. I even got the tool to do it, rented it from AutoZone. So sometime in a few weeks, I'm gonna make sure this tire is connected to the steering wheel properly. And this car has 47,000 miles. It is a manual, has beautiful seats, fancy stereo system from Fender. It sounds gorgeous. The 9-inch screen, all the bells and whistles, the lane keep assist, the radar for adaptive cruise control and automatic braking, park something, I don't even know what that is. But apparently this car is freakishly fancy, and I cannot wait to put this all together into the station wagon form, because I love station wagons, and I am really upset we never got the Golf R station wagon in the States. So I'm building my own. And this project has to happen before summer comes. It has to happen. I don't have a good car to drive. The Audi is the only one that I can rely on. This was the second one, but it broke yesterday. I'll tell you about it in a second. So yeah, the Audi is gonna remain as a tow vehicle, holding a lot of people vehicle, but it's not gonna be my daily. It is a diesel. It drinks quite a bit of diesel, and the diesel is like $1 more expensive than a gas, like regular gas. This one though, it's on a premium. Would have to do an E85 conversion on it, so that I can fill up on the cheap. Then we're moving on to this piece of crap. This is my 2001 Honda Insight. It's pretty low miles, clean title. It was damaged a little bit in that corner. I fixed it. With the used parts, they're not the best, so I didn't feel bad drilling holes and putting these lights over here, because they are not great, especially driving at night. I'm living in a foggy area. I need to have fog lights. So I didn't feel bad drilling the holes in that bumper, because it already messed up. But I'm gonna be selling this car. Primarily because it doesn't make sense to me. I live in a mountain area. I know it gets really good fuel economy, but getting up the hill, it just sucks. I averaged about 38 miles per gallon, which is not the best that this can. Actually, this is the worst that this car can do. They usually go for like 50 miles a gallon. But it's gonna be like on a highway, country roads. Driving in a city, it's okay. People don't like it. People cut it off all times. My wife has been complaining. She's been driving to work this car almost every day that she was working. Until recently, when I had an exhaust leak, and I figured I need to bring it in and fix that. So yesterday I drove this car. I went to the post office. I went to the parts store, pick up some parts to fix the exhaust leak, and came home, parked it, figured I'm not going to be doing it, it's really late, but I want to bring the car into the garage anyway. So I then start the car again, foot on the brake, and my foot goes to the floor. This car has a broken brake. Actually, that has no brakes at this time. So I need to replace a brake line, because whoever designed this car didn't think to put a galvanized or, I don't know, stainless steel, any kind of brake lines, not just steel. Because, the car's been driven on the winters, salty roads, and the brakes get corroded and they rupture. So that's what happened to me. I'm very lucky it didn't happen to my wife when she was driving to work. I'm very lucky it didn't happen to me when I was coming back from the store. I'm really happy that it happened right here outside the door. So here's the inside of the car. It's not the cleanest. It has pretty good trunk space. I replaced the normal antenna, but the fin, it works well. It's not great for receiving radio signal. It's not strong, but it's okay because I'm using that stereo. At least I used to use this stereo because after I towed this car back here, the stereo just stopped working. It didn't respond to anything. So yep, this is it. It has 99,459 miles. Starts right up and drives fine. No issues. Alright, let's see the hood. So here it is, the Mindy 1-liter 3-cylinder engine compared to a hybrid system on this side and CVT transmission. I know most of these cars are manual, but as far as I know, the manual transmissions have problems around 150, 200,000 miles. Their bearings are going out, and that is an expensive fix. Mostly people are just looking to replace the transmissions, but the parts are not available. So CVTs are also not the best ones, but they are fine. They're doing a great job. And the car is 100,000 miles, and I'm sure it can go another 100 with no issues. With the normal maintenance, the car is great. So I'm not sure you can see it. Let's put it in the light. I thought the exhaust leak was coming from the flange when it's connecting to the converter. I was wrong. There is an exhaust leak along the pipe. There is just a hole, so that's a little bit fixed. Well, you cannot see it right now, but there is a lot. It's wet down there because of the brake leak. No, let me shut it off. Alright, this is better. I don't have to scream anymore. The brake line that ruptured, it's this black one. If you can see it, well, it ruptured right there. So in order to replace that, I would have to remove the top piece. Luckily, there's a lot of room behind. Once I remove the battery and the bracket, I should have enough space to sneak in a new brake line, which I would have to make myself. I don't want to buy expensive ready to plug in pipe. I would better just fix it myself, because otherwise I will have 3-wheel brakes, because this is the one that's currently leaking. So this is it. This car is gonna go for sale as soon as the brake line is fixed. If you want it, hit me up. Of course, I will fix the exhaust leak. I will fix the brake leakage. Although other brake lines are fine. I've checked them. Not a sign of corrosion. Like, there is some corrosion, but it's not something that's gonna break tomorrow or in the next mile or two. It's probably another several years before those break. That spot was probably the weakest spot. It was right above the exhaust. I don't know what's the deal of it, but that's the area it broke in. So as soon as that's fixed, the stereo I'm gonna get fixed. If I have to replace it, I'm gonna replace it. It has a CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's all wireless, so that's a nice feature to have. The backup camera, for some reason, never worked on that car, even though it came with a kit. I plugged in all fine, but didn't work. It comes with a charger for the battery. The battery been replaced, and it's wireless. During the summer, I didn't drive it much because I was preparing for the wedding, and after that, when I drove, the battery was holding up much better. I guess sitting on the sun helped it somehow. No idea. But in any case, I hope you enjoy and stay tuned for all these projects to be done. I have filmed one video on this car. I don't even remember if I posted it. Most likely not. But I might make this one video when I'm gonna fix all this crap and let you know that it's ready to be picked up. Clean title, not a lot of miles for these cars. So, I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for that project, because this is the most exciting project that I ever did, and I cannot wait to start on it. And I hope you have a wonderful year and all your resolutions will come true. See you in the next week, hopefully. Goodbye.